Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here yet again. It is an honor to be with you all. That is the intro that has been paid for with a somewhat expensive video software, but all the donators and contributors to the channel, I appreciate y'all so much for everything you continue to do for this channel. I've been receiving so much support. I hope that you enjoyed that. There is more content on the way that is nice and creative. I'm on the new laptop right now. We are upgrading. We are moving forward in our metaphorical war, and the dustiness is slowly but surely evolving into semi-dust at this point in my life. And I'm very happy to be able to have all of you here tonight. 40 people already watching, 38, 39, 40. We round up. Glad to have you catching the beginning of the stream. For those of you who weren't able to catch an entire live stream, a great stream we have planned today. I decided to take this in another direction. Since we have a lot of new people that are kind of joining from TikTok, from other channels that don't necessarily understand a lot of the things that we're talking about, I decided to just kind of break it down, and we're going back to the roots. We're going back to the basics on this stream. But even if you already are well versed with a lot of the topics and controversies that we speak about, you'll still be able to get something out of this stream. The stream that we are talking about today, in reference to the title, is the dangerous manosphere, or the manosphere as a whole. So a lot of people who are new on the channel saying, I don't understand the manosphere. Nobody that I talk to at work says that they know anything about the manosphere and this and that. So I'm going to break it down for you. What is MGTOW, red pill, black pill? Oh my. Today's stream will focus on the newer audience that we have joining us from TikTok and other social media platforms. All right, just like we said before, the age of the guru has become somewhat of a pervasive topic on the internet. Everybody seems to have the answers to life. Everybody knows how to make money. Everyone's rich. Everyone's woke. And the manosphere believes that they possess every quality aforementioned. I'm sure we've all seen the YouTube ads of those drop shipping experts. One of the guys' names is Ty. That guy who says, hey, I'm Ty. And there's a Lamborghini behind him, right? It's like, I'm going to teach you how to make a whole bunch of money. We've all seen those little ads, those annoying ads we want to skip. You have to wait 5 seconds for the ad to count down so you can skip it. Sometimes it's like a 10-minute ad. Like, who's going to watch that? All right. By the way, speaking of ads, if you don't have YouTube Premium, it's the best $12 I spend a month. They're not paying me to say this, but that was a 5-second ad right there that you probably didn't come for this video to hear. You can turn your phone off, saving battery, free up your hands, and you don't get any ads. I'll never not pay for YouTube Premium again. I'd strongly suggest it. Strongly suggest it. Now back to the guru. The reason why gurus and multi-level marketing or pyramid schemes are so successful is because of their target audience. The reason that the manosphere is so successful now is because of their target audience. And I'll explain what I mean by this. All right. MLMs and gurus specifically have been known to target minorities and those of less affluence to join their company. If you don't know what an MLM is or a pyramid scheme is, it's pretty much a company that makes money from signing people up to teach them how to make money. There's not a product that they necessarily sell in these companies. So if you were to try and work for one, they would approach you and they'd say, hey, I work for a company and all you have to do is spend $199 a month with us. We're going to teach you how to make money or invest, or we're going to teach you Forex trading or whatever it might be. You just need to come to our workshops. Most of the time, it's very basic, rudimentary information that you can learn on your own if you decided, but they need to be able to sign people up to keep the company going. That's how they make their money. They're not making money off of trading necessarily. So it's deceptive at its core, right? They target a certain group of people to become a part of their company or to become a part of their army. We know that the manosphere right now is forming an army of hatred against women in general, all races of women. We speak a lot about black and black issues, but this is with all races of women. Make no mistake about it. Now, if you have been with the MLM or pyramid scheme company, you already know what I'm saying. You already know how they work. Most of you have not found success in MLM companies, actually to the tune of 99.5% of you, right? The irony of paying a complete stranger to teach you how to make money. It's new levels of cognitive dissonance, our favorite catchphrase, right? Paying somebody money to learn how to make money. Okay. The very thought is contradicting at its core, yet due to the financial position, due to the emotional position, due to the emotional state, due to the position in life that its target audience is in, the people sink head over heels into the MLM companies. Bear with me. It's going to take a while to set up this one. The deal sounds enticing and appeals to their greatest desire, which is getting out of poverty, making your life better, making your family's life better. Who wouldn't want to make money? Well, this company is telling me that they're going to show me how to make money. So of course I'm going to do that. That's what I want to do the most. That's what I desire the most. Just as the men in the manosphere ultimately desire for women to submit to them. They desire women the most. And here's a man that's leading them, telling them how they're going to get women, shaming women on why they should be chasing after a man like you. That's what they want the most. Very parallel comparisons here. We'll have some funny videos to watch in a little bit as well. There's no product that MLM companies sell. 99% of the time, they sell emotions. They host large auditoriums with thousands of people in them, almost as if it's some sort of concert or rock venue type festival. And what's interesting is, since everybody's so driven to make their own lives better, the energy and emotional investment raises the desire to new highs. And at some point or another, when the CEO finally hits the stage, the crowd goes wild. Let's take a look at this. This is a channel called I Am Marko. I Am Marko is very interesting because he exposes MLM companies. He has a YouTube channel dedicated to just that. It's very entertaining, very eye-opening research for anybody that has been approached by MLM companies and is thinking about getting into MLM companies. But I want you to look at this clip. This clip is actually from one of the infiltrations that he found himself a part in. He got into this company, recorded a whole bunch of information, secret meetings and things like that. And now he makes it a part of his life to expose the truth to everybody. Just as we expose the truth about the cult-like Manosphere, I want you to observe the parallel similarities between the cult-like personas of MLM pyramid schemes and then the cult-like persona of the group of men that we're talking about, to the tune of 5 to 10 million followers and subscribers now. Let's watch this.
It's so painfully obvious that Chris Terry is just trying to pander to the young Black people in this company.
Whoa, hold on now. Hold on now. Whoa. Hold on, I Marko. Slow down now. How funny is it that the same words that they insult me with is the words that we can obviously use to describe their fellow leaders as well? The Kevin Scamills, the Coach Greg Adams, the BGS Immores, the well, I don't want to say AM because I was watching Angry Man earlier today and he's starting to go hard on Negroids as well. It's funny, some of the content creators are starting to change. The Manosphere slowly but surely starting to change. I want you to observe it, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to kind of go for the rest of our metaphorical crusade, not of violence, Susan, at YouTube. I want you to listen to how the words and how their theme starts to change. Some of you have already seen Kevin Scamills be a little bit more nice in some areas, but I saw a video of him saying some pretty horrible things to a woman earlier today, so I can't say that. Let's continue on with this video. Whoa, hold on a second now. Let's continue.
Like a song dedicated to Chris Terry where everybody sings and they're like, oh, Christopher Terry, and it goes like, oh, and it just goes, oh, Christopher
Imagine.
So we can obviously look at this situation like this and replace Christopher Terry, the chairman of I Am Academy, the multi-level pyramid scheme type business, with a very large figure who is Black and very feminine acting, and he's the leader of the new crusade of masculinity with the Black community. We can almost directly swap those two people right there, and the way that we have Black men caping, riding, jockeying, immortalizing another man who they have no affiliations with, no personal connections with, and don't know from a can of paint is very similar to what happens in a lot of the MLM and pyramid scheme type businesses, where certain people at the very top prey on the weaknesses and the failures of a large group of people. We'll explain a little bit more of this as we continue to go on. There's some actually other really funny parts in that video. Let me see if I can find them really quickly.
Academy would refer to as providing value.
Every ounce of that person's DNA, when you walk away, they should say, man, I feel good just talking to this guy. I don't know what it is about him, but I feel good. People want to be around good energy. And when you make other people feel good, people are going to like you.
When you make other people feel good, people are going to like you. Now, this isn't a coincidence that some of the men who are very hateful, some of the men who have horrible energy towards a general amount of the population have become immortalized in certain communities, why the Manosphere is starting to grow. Regardless of what they're saying, since they're able to make men feel good, it doesn't matter how damaging or how damning the outcome of their situation will be. Since they feel good, the men listening to these live streams and participating in these live streams, since they feel good about hearing women belittled and then talking down on women, cursing out women, advocating for domestic abuse and violence against women, since that makes them feel good, they're head over heels for it. This is the psychology behind it. Let's continue a bit, and then we'll go ahead and move on to a further point in our discussion. I will be opening up the panels, Lord have mercy, in a few minutes. Hour later, right?
People are going to trust you. People are going to respect you, and people are going to sign up with you. Say, feel good now. Feel good now.
All right. That's enough of the I Am Academy cult. Let's move on with our discussion. Welcome to everybody that's just now joining us. It is an honor to have you all here with us. I want to give a huge shout out to our channel contributors. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, if you like what you're seeing, there's the PayPal address as well as the Cash App. You are not obligated to donate, and I do appreciate everybody that does donate so we can continue our productive efforts to bring a more professional, reliable stream and product to you all. Oh, I am a chairman. That's the chant that you heard in the video. The chairman level in the MLM is the leader of the team of a large amount of people, particularly thousands. The chairman is the position that everyone in the MLM scheme is trying to reach. The only problem is chanting that you're a chairman doesn't make you a chairman. Moreover, when you look at the percentage of the people that drop out of the MLM pyramid scheme who fail utterly and who do not get the results that they were promised and desired, less than 0.5% make it to the chairman level. Sound familiar? You bet it does. This is like majority of the black men demanding submission and claiming that they are good men when the numbers and statistics blatantly show that they are dead last. Just because you say that you're doing better doesn't mean that as a whole, you're doing better. 0.5% of people going on to be exactly what they were saying that they were going to be does not mean that the 99% of other people are going to be able to join that 0.5%. That is the minority, irregardless of what you think or say. It's the reason why the MLM pyramid scheme and Manosphere are the way they are to begin with. Also, I want to say something about pyramid schemes and MLMs. Successful people don't join pyramid schemes. Successful men don't join the Manosphere. That in and out of itself is a contradiction. That YouTuber's name, once again, is Always Marko. Be sure to check out his channel, Always Marko. I Am Academy. You'll pull him up. He has 300,000 subscribers. To those familiar with what we routinely discuss on this channel, you will see the parallels immediately. MLM is a cult that worships and praises a single entity or deity as if they are the second coming of Christ. Somehow one man has convinced thousands and thousands and thousands of people that he has the power to change their lives and everyone that they love. The only thing that he needs you to do is invest in him, and he's going to make it happen for you. All he needs is a little bit of your resources, a little bit of the time that you provide. He's going to put you in a better position. In reality, if someone truly cares about you, they don't need any resources from you. They don't need to charge you any money. If I never got a single donation for the rest of this YouTube channel, I would still say the exact same thing that I'm saying now because I believe it with my heart and soul. I always speak about this, and I'll continue to say this. When I started YouTube for the years beforehand, I didn't earn a single cent. For 2.5 years, I didn't make a single cent. They wouldn't stop their live streams because not enough people are liking the stream. Oh, hold on a second. We have 20,000 people. We have 15,000 people. We only got 4,000 likes. Nope, that's not going to do it. That's not what people who are trying to actively help people do. They don't stop live streams because their contributors or the donations that they've gotten haven't reached a certain amount. That's not what people who really help people, who really care about people do. Moreover, the bigger thing about this is that when people truly do sense value, when you truly do give something to somebody, the money tends to follow. Even if it doesn't, a moral person still helps others because of their convictions and their own personal code. At the end of these MLM meetings and auditorium rock festivals, after you get excited, after you figure out, man, this is the way to go. This is it. This is what I've been missing out on. You sign your $299 monthly fee and you're ready to start recruiting your friends. My apologies, y'all. I missed the super chats. I've been looking at these notes. $50 super chat. $50 super chat. Once again, from, it looks like Kier. $50 super chat from Kier. She says, this is going to be good. Kier, thank you so much for another $50 super chat. Huge donations from Kier. I appreciate that. $10 super chat from Terrell Savage says, the family man they love to hate is in the building. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that, Terrell. Welcome to everybody that is here now. Learning IT says these scams are not new. Tony Morrison, member of the channel, or Garrett Tony, member of the channel. Huge shout out to Jaleesa Monet. Good to see you, Jaleesa. Great to see you. Oh, here we go. Mr. Supreme says MLM is not scams. I do MLM. Well, Mr. Supreme, we might decide. If when we open up the panel, I want you to come talk to me about why 99.5% of people end up quitting MLMs within 6 months. If you can justify to me how somehow MLM is not a scam, then I will completely say that I've been wrong this entire live stream. However, you're going to have a very tough time doing that. But I will invite you on, Mr. Supreme. Give me about 20 minutes or so. We have a lot to cover before we get there. Cleo Garsos, Mr. Supreme, so how much success are you having with your current MLM? Yeah, we're going to ask him that when he gets on live. Just like the guy that was a bear hunter last stream, right? Well, I hunt bears. Oh, you hunt bears, huh? All right. After you're ready to spend your $299 and start recruiting your friends and family and complete strangers into your newfound prosperous career, your newfound prosperity, we know how the story ends. As the year goes by, you look at the money that you've been spending and haven't making, and you end up quitting. A year goes by in the Manosphere, and you're still single. You're still lonely. You're still working at that average job that you claim is so beneficial, that you claim that you love so much. As if everybody just loves working at the jobs majority of the time. Some people do have great jobs, right? That's the goal, is to get a great job. But I don't see the group of people who are the least educated in America being able to have a job that fulfills so much happiness in their lives. I don't see that. You look back at the time that you've wasted, the time and the money that you decided to invest, because money is time. Only this time, you're in a more volatile emotional state because you decided to invest your time and resources into a chairman, a random stranger that you idolized, that gave you empty promises. Very interesting, huh? Very interesting. They looked at the time that they wasted trying to fulfill their desires, only to realize that they simply played right into their enemy's hands. The CEO got richer, and you stayed broke, average, and lonely. And after you decide to quit and leave and tell your fellow teammates and group members that they aren't making strides in the life promised to them, that you're not making the strides that were promised to you, that you're still upset, that you're still in a terrible condition in life, you're then shamed by the same people who used to call you their brothers. Imagine that. That's almost like me sitting on the channel trying to tell men the better way to get their life together, the men that I used to be in a community with, fortunately a long time ago, or a decent amount of time ago now, and then coming to my platform and saying disparaging things about me. Imagine that. I thought everything was cool. You see, everything was cool when we were all still failing as a collective. Everything was cool when we were all still being hateful as a collective. But when one person decides that they want to start changing the life for the better, then everything's not cool anymore. Right? Now, this happens to the Black community more than any other community. There is no push for positivity or progressive growth. That's not the social norm. That's not cool or hip in the Black community. Particularly in the Black manosphere, when you do decide to be brutally honest with yourself and say, you know what, as a man, I'm not doing what I need to do, that'll be met with visceral resentment, because that's not what the community is all about. When you tell them that listening to the chairman will only lead you to further brokenness and disparity, you will be vilified for it. This is the manosphere in a nutshell. Now, some of you are still going to be saying, well, what's the manosphere exactly? Some of you might still not know. I want to play a video for you really quickly before we get into the different parts and sections of the manosphere, because the manosphere is interesting. They have different areas and sections of it. They have different areas, the white manosphere, the black manosphere, but typically they can all kind of intermingle at a certain point in time. You have the red pill guys who believe one thing. You have what's known as the black pill guys who believe another thing. And then you have a couple of other different color pills. They seem to be really fascinated with colors for some reason, right? I don't mean to, Susan at YouTube, I'm not trying to throw any shade to the communities. Let's watch this video. Now, this video is particularly interesting because this is what I like in the manosphere too. This video is going to be absolutely hilarious. Y'all are going to love this. There was a man who was recently convicted of a double homicide for killing his own family. And yes, before you come to conclusions, he is black. Shocker. Double homicide suspect right here. Now, he decided to go ahead and represent himself in court. Some of you have seen this video. I think Lexus Exodus covered this on her live stream earlier today. This is classic right here. I'll see if I can zoom in. I don't know how to zoom in on this, so we're not going to do it. Let's just listen to this. But this is the leader of the manosphere. This is someone who decided that he wants to lead his own crusade in his exploration of freedom and I don't know, whatever you want to say, his conquest of desires. Here we go.
By the time it's all said and done, you will see who is the mass murderers in Tampa Bay.
Incredible.
Florida. You will know why what occurred on March 18, 2018 occurred. And the evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence to meet their such high burden of proof.
Now, this is very interesting because essentially this is the way this is why I bring up this video. Okay, somehow the leaders of the black community, the manosphere and the black section, are the group of men who have failed the most. This is what's so interesting about this. The communities that follow, that want to be the new wave of masculinity, coincidentally, not coincidentally, are the group of guys who are on child support, who are divorced, who haven't raised good families, who I mean, like, the list can go on forever, right? This is why I bring up this video. It's pure foolishness, but somehow they've gotten this disillusioned idea of who they are and what they are. And then everybody from the outside looking in is saying, what the hell is going on? Everybody on my TikTok is saying, what the hell is going on? Meanwhile, you have a group of men who look and act just like this, trying to tell gentlemen that are on my channel and myself that we're the ones that are holding the black community back. The irony is just, it's just incredible. Let's go ahead and round this video out and then we'll move on because it is entertainment. I'll say that.
Because originally, it wasn't enough.
Now, I like this. Before he started speaking, he just stood there for like a good minute. This is hilarious. Watch this. I know the sound's coming out of one side, so sorry. Oh, there we go. I can zoom in. Sorry. Watch his beginning. Watch him. Okay, now, brother.
The evidence is going to show that we are under some of the most vicious.
All right. Well, he's made his point clear. You know what? Unfortunately, he was guilty the moment he opened his mouth. But are you not entertained? That is the black manosphere. That's the men who decide that they want undying submission. However, are the most failed group of men in America. Now let's move on with our commentary here. Men that have been divorced, men with the highest criminal convictions, men who pay child support, men who chase barely legal age girls, and in the case of EDP 445, underage 13-year-old girls, men who are feminine, borderline homosexual, leading a crusade of masculinity, men who are emotionally immature, men who are abusive. The list can go on and on and on and on. But once again, because of their extremely large community of men that are failures, particularly within the black community, the fake gurus are worshipped. But even this is a bad comparison because the message that the Manosphere preaches is that you are fine the way you are and that everyone else really is where the problem resides. The ones who are at fault are the rest of the world's, not them, not their audience, because they're victims. At least the MLM and pyramid scheme people tell you that you need to work hard. I'll say that. The pyramid scheme people are like, no, you got to get out there and just work harder. You got to grind more. So they at least do that. They're at least scamming you and putting and instilling good work ethic in you. Shoot. The Manosphere says, oh no, it's women's fault, it's feminism's fault, it's the government's fault, it's child support's fault, it's everybody's fault, it's ET's fault, it's Weave's fault, it's everybody else's fault. You're okay doing what you're doing. Remember what we said earlier, that the successful men have no problem with women. The successful people are not a part of the Manosphere. Right? Remember what we said earlier. The Manosphere scams men and normalizes accepting their failures that led them to the sphere in the begin with. Let me say that again. The Manosphere scams men and normalizes accepting their failures that led them into the sphere, that led them to the YouTube channel, that led them to the dark place to begin with. Remember, they're in the sphere because they seek women, because they've had traumatic experiences with women. Just like the MLM candidates that seek money in that pyramid scheme. It's no secret that dating in the new millennium has changed. The internet has changed nearly every facet of life, but our innate desires as humans still remain. We desire love, we desire companionship, we desire family, we desire success, happiness, the list goes on. However, the leaders of the Manosphere have suffered heartbreak, family, courts, child supports, and various other situations that brought by them into their own lives, by their own actions and desires, are now being held accountable for. An ember of fire was planted into their hearts, to which it went unchecked. There was no rational, healthy emotional response to that. And at some point in their life, a drop of gasoline was poured into their hearts and minds, and it ignited the ember into a full raging fire. Because they were not able to master their emotions and problems in life, they effectively snapped and decided to go on what is the modern day crusade and the modern day metaphorical war against women. And in some cases, this turns physical, we've seen. They claim to save men from present dangers of society, whilst they lead them into irreversible mental and emotional damage. Can't talk again today. It is what it is. IK with the $10 super chat. IK with the $10 super chat. Forgive me, y'all. I'm not looking at the comments. IK says successful men do not join the Manosphere. Absolutely not. They have no need to join the Manosphere. They're not afflicted. They're not victims of society, of women, of this, of that. Even when successful men do have a woman lie on them, or even when they do have to pay child support, whatever it might be, their mind frame is not that of victimization. That's how they were able to reach success in the first place. But these guys don't want to reach success. They want to be victims. Moreover, the black men, majority of them want to be victims. And that's why they're dead last, and why they'll continue to remain dead last to this day. That's why they've been dead last throughout history. And you have guys come onto my channel talking about, well, 400 years ago, there was the white man had a competitive edge. When they'll be the same dudes, as a commenter said in response, which is a brilliant comment, I didn't say this, they'll be the same dudes claiming that the black man was the first man on the face of the planet. So technically, black man, you had more of a head start than every other race. Successful men are not a part of the Manosphere. Winners win, period. But y'all don't want to win. It's very evident. I want to thank Naeem for the for the Cash App donation. Thank you so much, Naeem. Thank you so much, Naeem. I'm going to annoy y'all really quickly and put my Amazon wish list up as well. I forgot to put my Amazon wish list up. If you are balling outrageous, then let the Lord use you. You are not obligated, but let him use you now. Let him use you. I appreciate all of you, all the channel members, and everybody that just sticks around to watch. I appreciate y'all. Moving on. Now let's go ahead and break this down. The different sections. I know I talked about the different sections. So for everybody that still has no idea what I'm talking about, this is the moment for you. This is what you need. Okay. Shout out to Beijik that's watching this and annotating, timestamping these videos. The origins of the manosphere aren't fully known to me, but if I had to guess, I would assume that at some point or another, a man had his feelings hurt and decided to start a wave of awareness for men around the world. Revisiting the topic of gurus, the manosphere is led primarily by a group of men whom have had questionable results in life. Yet somehow they've been able to position themselves as gurus. Men who have infinite wisdom of dating, marriage, family relations. Every content creator is different, so let's take a look at the different beliefs of the manosphere. I wish I had a soundboard right here. We play like a little magical rainbow sound. So I'll just do that for now. Exhibit A, the blue pill man. This isn't a part of the manosphere, but this is something that you need to hear before we move on to the next pills. If you remember the movie The Matrix, Morpheus presented the protagonist of the movie, Neo, with an option to either take the red pill or the blue pill. The blue pill would cause him to wake up in his normal life, continue on, as if nothing had ever happened the night before, as if the most traumatic experience, some would say, of his life had never happened to him, and he'd get back to the normal world around him. The red pill would open his eyes into what the world truly was. All right. We've spoken about this, how the manosphere often uses biblical references, movie references to try and prove their point. And they misconstrue, they just take everything out of context to try and fit their twisted narratives. And this is another version of doing this, right? No originality to them. They just decide, oh, well, we like the Matrix. That kind of fits what we like to think and talk about. So let's just use red pill and blue pill. The blue pill man is a mockery in the manospheric community. What is the blue pill man? The blue pill man is what we would describe as a traditional man. A man who is comfortable with abiding by the typical rules that moderns society. A man who sees it as his duty and responsibility to take care of his family. The blue pill man assumes that he will fall in love and that he will find a wife who loves him. God forbid you have hope to be able to have a family. The blue pill man is the bane of existence for the manosphere. They refer to a blue pill man as a simp. Now, you might be asking yourself, why do they call it blue pill? Once again, we just explained that, so I'll need to cover that again. They tend to have a more jovial nature about them, as they see the glass of life half full rather than half empty. Exhibit B, the red pill. This is the majority of the manosphere. These group of men believe that everything one has ever learned is a lie. The government is lying to you. Your parents lied to you. Your teachers lied to you. Your bank account lied to you. The Walmart lied to you. Your computer's lying to you. Your dog's lying to you. Everybody in life is lying to you. Everybody's trying to get over on you, right? So really, it's borderline mental deficiencies. Really, it's borderline personality and character disorders. But we're not going to talk about that now. We'll talk about that on another stream. They feel that all women are liars, and at the right place for the right price at the right time, any woman has a price tag. This is what they believe. It doesn't matter if the woman is a cheerleader or a nun. The red pillars see women as nothing other than a piece of meat that could and will ruin your life at her earliest opportunity. In their minds, the system has been taken over by women to harm men. They believe in men needing to go their own way, or MGTOW, a belief system known as. A direct contradiction, since they, by and large, congregate amongst themselves every day of the week, every minute of the day, to console and coddle each other's emotions. The only place that they're going is to each other's house to cry on each other's shoulders. Go your own way, as if they're just all going to live in the forest with no internet. No, that's what a man who goes his own way would really do. He would detach from society to where nobody had access to him. Y'all aren't doing that. Y'all are all crying online about how bad women are. Grown-ass men, 40, 50, 60 years old, crying online. Most content creators fall under the red pill umbrella of indoctrination and seeks to continue to build a community of red pill men. That's why they're going after young men right now. Men whom attack the blue pill man for how he sees the world. The red pill man demonizes the blue pill man for being a simp. But that isn't the only group of people who they demonize, which leads us to Exhibit C. Actually, they don't really demonize Exhibit C. Sometimes they do. We'll get into this in a second. Exhibit C is called the black pill. I know, so many colors. The black pill is very interesting now. Now, the black pill merged from the red pill. The black pill are the group of red pill guys who just gave up completely. And this is why I always talk about the Manosphere. This is why I always talk bad about the Manosphere, because eventually, just like the young man who took his life that we discussed on a few streams ago, or maybe it was a few months ago, I forget the name of the stream. One of y'all can put it in the chat if you want. Just like the kid that ended up taking his life, we can see the progression into disparity. We can see the descent into darkness from when the kid started his YouTube channel to where he ended up taking his life. And the progression is from blue pill to red pill to black pill to death. This is the literal progression that it goes. And if it's not death, it's lifelong depression. Because after a certain amount of time, just like we talked about in the last stream, after you've been swimming in the deep, dark waters of hatred, envy, jealousy for so long, you can't bounce back from that. You've essentially trained your mind. You've rigged your mind to only thinking one type of negative way. And it's very hard to come back from that. Very hard to come back from that, particularly if you continue to surround yourself with negative influences, particularly if you continue to idolize negative influences in your life, right? Going back to the black pill, they're nihilists. They believe life has no meaning, no beginning, no end. There's no rhyme or reason to be walking around in life right now. The black pill man believes that society is futile. In regards to women, they often share dark jokes among themselves, hoping to cope. I've even heard them saying things like, oh, that's just cope, bro. Don't cope, just rope, i.e. permanently removing oneself off the face of the planet. This is a very large community. Often these are the people that we describe as incels, or the Elliot Rodgers, the kid who ended up taking the lives of 16 girls and then taking his own life, or the man who just recently killed his own wife and I think daughter, the black dude who the police investigated his computers to see what he was listening to and researching on YouTube, and it was Coach Greg Adams. This is why we talk about this right now, because essentially he went past the black pill. He went into, okay, I'm going to make sure I can do as much damage and harm as I can to everybody that might cross my path that I love. This is why I talk about the Manosphere and try and wake you ignorant people out, brothers, negroids out of this. White dudes out of this, Asian dudes out of this. Try not to say people. I've been saying people. I'm talking about men specifically. They believe that no matter what, they'll never be able to get a girlfriend. Let me check the comments real quickly. If I missed anybody's super chat, I'm sorry. They believe that no matter what, they'll never be able to get a woman. This is the black pill belief. No matter what happens. Looks, money, status, or LMS is what they blame for their lack of dating success. Most of them have lost motivation to do anything productive with their lives other than complain about their height, their physical appearance, their yearly salaries. They don't seek to change themselves or make themselves better versions of people. Essentially, they sit in their rooms all day, complain about life, and do nothing to fix the same life that they complain about. Until one or two things happens. Either they snap, take their own life, or they just end up doing something else completely stupid and get taken out of the planet by somebody else. Right? Once again, this started from the red pill. This started from entering the Manosphere. Most of the time, these are men that have become radicalized and have the potential to do serious harm to themselves and others, like we just said. However, red pill men are at risk as well. The red pill is a gateway drug to the black pill. All right? Once a blue pill mind has been converted to the red pill belief system, once a good guy has enough of his friends trying to peer pressure him into not being a simp, into not being kind towards women, once a good guy finally bends to the pressure of other men or other children telling him that he needs to try and just use women for their bodies, that he shouldn't try and date women seriously, and this and that, he's now part of the red pill community, and he's on his way into destruction. They go through a lengthy process of radicalization until their mindsets finally convert to black pill thinking when all hope is finally lost. Cradle to the grave. They bring you into their world and leave you with nothing but pain and despair. The red pill seeks to set fire to everything that you held once near and dear. They camouflage it as trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to let men know what could happen if this and if they choose a bad woman and if this and if that. If you choose a bad woman, then that is on you, first and foremost. Secondly, if something bad does happen to you, this is what we call life. Cry a bridge and get over it. At some point or another, you need to develop healthy emotional response to the negative outcomes in life. Because if you can't handle negative outcomes in life, you're forever going to be set back. You will forever be dead last. You will forever be failing and placing the blame of your lack of growth on everybody but yourself. And you'll die a loser. Now, if you want to be a loser, then by all means, continue to lose, as black men have shown that they are very effective at doing. But if you're watching this stream, and we'll talk about this later on in the comment of the day, which I got a comment that kind of alluded to maybe there's hope for this guy, maybe there's not, I don't know. If you're watching this and you're tired of being a loser, then I would advise you to stick with the channel for a little bit longer because you might just end up getting a little bit more for your life. I can tell you that in the short amount of time that I've decided to wake up, start holding myself accountable and working my ass off into trying to do something with my life, anything productive at all, my life has increased in happiness tenfold. The common theme among the red pillars or the black pillars is this victim mindset. This victim, oh my God, she cheated on me, and then this turtle crossed the road and I ran over it and my tire exploded. But the turtle wouldn't have crossed the road if I wasn't on the phone with the girl and I was hanging out the gas station talking to the girl or whatever. So it really is the girl's fault. And this non-ending victim mindset. The unmasculinity they exhibit is more than obvious. The reason that you have a problem with women is because you're such a effing victim. You're such a loser. Crying about everything. Crying online. Crying when you talk to her. Crying when you can't hang out with her. Crying because you don't have anything else to do better with your time. This only leads to furthering the dark road of disparity in your own life. It's a particularly fascinating conundrum. The red pill especially tears a man's psyche down by barraging him with hundreds of stories of men who have gotten divorced, caught wives cheating, and often the men that they speak to have yet to have anything in their own personal lives happen that's the same. But the radicalization of them to a life to which they haven't experienced or lived for themselves continues. Content creators disguise radicalization as help or wisdom. They cater to their audience's susceptibilities and primal instincts. The sensual drive that men have is one of the biggest innate passions and desires that a man feels. It's quite literally why we as men do a lot of the things that we do. It's our natural position in the order of life to seek the company and or love of a woman. And the Manosphere plays off of this. They know this. It is the reason why a woman can walk down any given street in the world and find a man who is willing to take her out to dinner, wine and dine her, sleep with her, and marry her within a month. The desire for a woman burns inside of a man. So yeah, you go your own way if you want to. You MGTOW yourself into your grave. Let me know how that goes for you. There's a saying by G. Michael Hopf. This is a quote. It says, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. As the country that we're in the latter parts of the quote that I just said. This is very interesting here. Now, I'll open up the panel here soon. Hear me out. I want y'all to listen to this. When I hear quotes like this, it makes a lot more sense to why we're seeing a rise in weak-minded, narcissistic, hateful men. We often get comments on this channel from black men telling us how much better women in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s were, that their grandmother submitted to their grandfather. What about Black Wall Street in Alabama? I know it's Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm just trying to, mock them and imitate them about a bit. There's no coincidence that after hundreds of years of torture and hard times, black men in the 30s and 40s and 50s were doing much better for themselves. Just like the quote said, hard times create strong men create good times. After they were finally freed after hundreds of years, those hard times created strong men, and the strong men created relatively decent times for the black community. There's your Black Wall Street for you. Fast forward to modern day, and we live in a country that affords us with luxuries that other parts of the world would die for. We can order food from our phones. We could jump out of a helicopter onto a mountain, ski down the slope, take an Uber to the beach all in the same day, if you live in California, that is. We have the freedom to eat whatever we want with nobody stopping us. The road to success is paved right in front of us. Education, opportunity, and wealth are possible for all. Life in Western civilization is the best that it has ever been in the history of mankind. Yet, there are a group of millions of men who continue to victimize themselves at their own hands. Men who continue to destroy themselves in the communities. Men that believe that they are not able to reach said success within their community because of the existence of women. Because of women, they are irreparably cursed. Because women exist, they won't ever be able to reach success in the wealthiest country in the world. Now, I want to say something about the submissive women in the 50s and 60s. The real goal of the Manosphere is to go back to the 50s and 60s. Routinely, black men, like I said before, come onto my channel and give their perspective on how women used to be so much more submissive. Here's what's bewildering about this. Here's what's wild about this. Okay? Here's what's wild about this. And really, this is a head smacker. How they want their women to not talk back or express the slightest amount of disdain towards their omnipotent household leader. The irony is that they seek a time in which black women couldn't even vote and held no political power. This is why I say that the black man is taking white supremacy further than any white man could have ever. The very time frame that they always try and come to our channel with, and y'all have heard this, well, women's in the 60s was they knew that we was kings, and when they knew that we was kings, then they submitted to us. What's further in the irony of this bewildering statement aforementioned is that in regards to black men wanting women in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, that would also, as a black man, place them in a period of time where racism, prejudice, and limited opportunity was the theme of the black community. Yet they'll get upset at me for pointing out the fact that when white men truly did have their foot on black men's necks, the black community was better. Oh, you just being a coon. You just being a coon. So I'm a coon for saying that when the white man really was billy clubbing some of you Negroids over the head, you acted right, that the community was better. I'm a coon for saying that. But you're not a coon for saying that you want your woman to be in a time period where they didn't even have the right to vote. Huh? There he goes pandering again. He knows we was kings over. He knows we was Moors. We was Moors over in Europe. We was really the first ones in Europe too. To some extent, I'm not gonna say that. There he goes pandering again. We'll read some comments really quickly. I'm going to open up the panel soon. I've been talking for 50 minutes. This has gone by fast. I still had something to say, but listen, I shudder when I think about the things that I think about. Medusa says, hit the like. Make sure you hit the like, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that so much. You see, back in 1800, my great grandfather, he was a slave, but he had a business though. And all right. Tony Morrison with the $20 super chat. Tony Morrison says, men in the Manosphere have no intentions on marrying. Their life plan is to gripe about feminism into perpetuity. I'm saying this wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. Absolutely. They don't seek to. And we've spoken about this. The Manosphere, they chase after teenage girls. One of the things that they always say is that, and they joke about going after girls on the junior college campus, not even a college campus. They joke about going after girls on a junior college campus. I mean, if that doesn't sound weird to the normal person, if that doesn't sound weird to you as a man, then there's something very wrong with you. I would never joke about something like chasing after girls on a junior college campus. That's very off. But once again, we're talking about a group of men that is 5 to 10 million subscribers strong. Between white men, black men, Asian men, and Latino men, 5 to 10 million estimated strong. That's just kind of from what I've been able to see as I've looked at many different content creators. 5 to 10 million. There's 330 million people in the United States. 5 to 10 million is a relatively large amount, especially when you're talking about men, right? The least amount of the genders in the United States. It's a lot of men. Joking about going to junior college campuses and waiting on junior college campuses. That's what Coach Greg Adams always jokes about. And in the same breath, they say, well, it's just biology. It's just biology. And we take it back to what Toni Morrison says. You're not looking to get married to these junior college girls. If you are marrying the junior college girls, then maybe I'd give you a pass. Maybe. And I'm sure I wouldn't. But maybe I would at least thinking about it. You 50-year-old creep. Maybe I would at least thinking about it. But you're not. Moreover, the Manosphere, they fight, just like Tony said, for not getting married. So you using this whole excuse that the younger women you can have children with easier, that they're more fertile, that they're more this, that they're more that. With the modern advance of technology, women up until their late 40s are having children. That's a fact. I don't want to hear anything about them being less fertile, less this, less that. We're in the 21st century, bro. It's 2021. Anything's possible. You see, the biology about it is, so now you're a biology major, right? Right. Now, do you think it's any coincidence that the man that jokes about waiting for women on junior college campuses was a high school and a middle school girls basketball coach? Coach Greg Adams? You weird ass nigga. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna play the pedal soon. I promise. I always say that we go an hour, right? This leads us to our comment of the day, though. Well, actually, not quite. Let me read a couple more things. On one end, the Manosphere the black man seeks to go back to a time period where they would have truly been dominated and conquered, but they're upset at me for pointing out the idiocracies of the thought processes such as this. And now this leads us to our comment of the day. I got this comment. We'll show you the screenshot here. 227 people watching. It's good to have you all here today. I know we have a lot of haters in here that are just watching, lurking. No matter. Let's look at this screenshot here. The War Report said this. He's typing in yelling phrases. He says, I don't know how I came across. Let me just read it in Dusty, because he typed it in Dusty. Well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that Dusty. I don't know how I came across your channel. I'm getting a lot of placating, kowtowing vibes. It seems as though you let women off the hook. I will say that I agree with some of your points, in particular with the Manosphere and certain content creators. What I take issue with is, as I said before, I can't put my finger on it, but my instinct has never proved me wrong. That was way too much. If the majority of your comment section is flooded with females, that's usually a red flag. Again, I'm all for calling out tomfoolery going on with black men. Just make sure you hold women accountable for their transgression as well. Yet, when you get comments like this, it lets me know that before anything, their main concern is making sure that they call out the women. This is the Manosphere. Oh, well, what about the women, though? You're not calling out the women. As if there already aren't hundreds of channels that literally have dedicated their lives to demonizing women, that have made themselves a part-time job, a full-time job. You would think that as many hate channels for women that's online, that they're getting paid from this. And Well, it's a lot more. I have to be quite honest with you. Now, this is what I have to say to you, my Negroid brethren. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, women are a mirror. Okay, that's what I have to say to you. What you give to them, they give back in excess to you. If you give a woman your seed, she gives you a child. I've said this before. Some of you know. A lot of you are new, so you haven't heard this. If you give her a house, she gives you a home. Now, women are mirrors of the environment that they're placed in. This is why I don't address women. Aside from the fact that there are already hundreds of channels online who bash women all day, in holding women accountable, the ones who truly need to be held accountable are the builders of the communities that the women have to live and grow up in. Because if the community's in destruction and disarray, then the woman is going to have a lot harder time walking in her natural femininity. So I don't want to hear about any of this. You need to hold women accountable and this and that. You need to build a community that hasn't been dead last for the past 10,000 years. Maybe when you do that, she'll be able to walk down the street with a smile on her face, knowing that there are men that could protect her, knowing that there are gangbangers and drug dealers that flood every portion of majority of black communities in America. Maybe, just maybe, if you do that, you'll see a change in the same women that you chastise and persecute for placing her in crime-ridden, war-torn environments. Just maybe. It's a lot harder to smile when you have to live in a war zone. You give your women crumbs and expect them to build you a 5-course meal. I like that you talking about the men, but the women though. The women's need to be the $10 super chat from Chanel Coconut. Bring up their role as a provider for the family and see how they switch up. All of a sudden, they're all for feminism. And say, isn't that what you wanted? Great comment there. Great comment. They want the traditional women until you tell them to be traditional men. But I thought you was independent though. But I thought you didn't want her to be independent. Well, she wants to be independent, so I'm gonna let her be independent because when she's independent and she realizes that she needs to submit to me, then I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Kenyatta says, that's the realest I've ever heard you say. Congrats. Thank you, Kenyatta, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. $50 super chat. Kier, is that you? Kier, Lord have mercy. Kier with the bombs. I appreciate that, Kier. That is huge. Thank you so much, Kier. You are on fire. I just, the longer I think about this, the more I think about this, I try and make sense of it, and then the more it doesn't make sense. $50 super chat from Kier. Huge shout out. Gabrielle says the creeposphere. I call them the patosphere. Absolutely. Creeposphere appropriately works as well. If you'd like to join the panel, I'm going to open up the panel now. I know that a lot of you like to listen to me talk. I've talked for an hour. I'm going to open up the panel now. If you want to join the panel, once again, if you're blocked, you're probably still blocked. You have to create another profile to make it worth your time to join the panel. And make sure that you adhere to the rules. You're not disrespectful. You let everybody talk, yada, yada, yada. Good to see that we have some brothers in the chat that are supporting the message. It's good to see that we have some new people in the chat who have been able to catch the live from the very beginning. Once again, huge shout out to all the channel members and contributors. Bossy Empress TV says it makes no sense. Queen Mercy says going in circles. Absolutely. I laugh with y'all, trust me. I laugh with y'all. Chalisa Monet says, "How are you going to hate and appreciate at the same time?" Graphic says, "Open the panel. Open it now. I cannot wait any longer." LeBrin, welcome to the panel. So good to see you again.
Hey, Truth. How are you?
Hey, Lauren. I'm very well. How are you today?
Man, you on fire tonight. You dropping all kind of bombs for real.
Oh, thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate that.
And what you're saying is just, it's like you put it so much better than I can. You put it so much better than I do. But like you really are on fire tonight, for real, for real. But it's like, because for people that have been aware of this space for a long time, we've always seen this. We've always known this. Why do these men demand all this freaking submission and respect? And why do they expect women to, be able to prosper in the war zones that we have to grow up in and live in? But you want us to smile when we see you. You want us to act like these delicate flowers, even though we are not watered, we're not given proper soil, we're not being taken care of in any way. But you just want all of these things placed at your feet because you're a king. A king with nothing to offer, with nothing to give his subjects, right?
Absolutely.
And then you have these and you have this like this Kevin Samuels man that says, if only you would just listen to me, you too could have a man that earns $11 an hour. It could all be yours. Just listen to me.
That is hilarious. You want to know the biggest thing, Lauren? And this is a great point. This is what's so ironic about these guys calling themselves kings and this and that. A good king, a really good king, a king that had the hearts of his people, was willing to die on the battlefield for his people. A good king went to battle with his troops. A good king, in some cases, led the front line. Now, when he was too old, he would sit in the back and he would still instill courage by giving them valiant motivational speeches and this and that. But a good king was in the city, was able to connect with the individuals, made sure that all the delegates, all the delegated issues, all the money, all the economic systems, that everybody had some kind of role that they could play into the kingdom. A good king looked out for the people, and as a result, the people would worship the king until the end of his days. So when you really are a good king, when you really are a good leader, you have the hearts and the minds and the souls of your people, because that's the natural order of things. There is no good king that had to sit on a throne saying, well, I'm such a good king. I'm a great king to y'all. No, there were people who would be willing to die for him, the king's guard. There were people who would be willing to eat his food before to make sure it wasn't poisoned, the king's aide. There were people who were willing to make sure that no matter what happened in their own personal lives, they would devote their lives, their families' lives, to the service of the king, because the king was more important, since he carried the hearts and the minds and the prosperity of the entire community. These niggas don't know what a king is. These niggas couldn't even spell king if you gave them 3 letters of the word. That's how lost and disillusioned with their leadership they are. To be a leader is really to be a servant. And just like I said earlier, when you truly provide value to somebody, when you truly provide love to somebody, when you provide support to somebody, those people give it back to you. You don't have to ask for anything from anybody when you truly walk in your value, when you truly walk in your purpose. An alpha doesn't have to say he's an alpha. He doesn't have to teach other people that he's an alpha. He simply is. A good king doesn't have to say he's a good king. He doesn't have to let everybody know to see his royal guards and to see this and to see that. He simply is a good king. And by nature of that, everybody can identify and see it in him. It's very good that you brought up that king. I'm glad. Thank you, Lorraine. We're going to let the ladies speak. Pie Face, I'm not sure if you're the guy who wanted to get on, but I'll let you go last, Pie Face, just assuming that you're a guy from your name. So are you a guy, Pie Face?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I am. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, give me 1 second, Pie Face. Bossy Empress TV, go ahead, Bossy Empress TV. The floor is yours. Make sure that you unmute yourself. Yeah.
Right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me on the panel tonight. My thing is, why does it seem as though the Manosphere resents taking care of and providing for women? especially if they find us desirable enough to indulge in what women bring to the table. For me, I try to explain to men that we are women. We are built to be provided for. That is what we do as women. And then, like you were saying about we're mirrors. I just for me, and I stumbled upon the Manosphere maybe about 3 months. I don't even know, 2 or 3 months ago. And I just made a simple video about Kevin Samuels, and I was attacked, and I'm like, I've just been down this rabbit hole ever since. And it just seems to me they resent taking care of women. And to me, I try to just explain to them how that's one of the manliest things you can do. They'll even accept paying child support over being a provider for a woman, and I just think that that's weird.
Yeah, thank you for that,
Mhm.
Bossy Empress. It's interesting because and as they start to grow, they're going to start to kind of hear, and this is why these messages are so important. Yeah, it's not that they have a disdain for women, even though they do have a severe disdain for women. It's because they have a disdain for themselves and the failures, by and large, as a collective that they represent. They hate where they are in life so often. So Kevin Samuels is very popular because he essentially tells women, especially women who are doing well, who are more educated than their same counterparts, right? The women who have gone to school, who are in higher paying jobs, he'll try and demean them back to the same rudimentary basic levels that a majority of the men in our community are at. So we know that black women are making strides and doing much better than black men are right now. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't black men who are doing well. There are black men who are doing very well for themselves. But there is a more pervasive culture of glowing up, of leveling up for our black women, right? They've even made it into their pop culture. Level up, sis. Get the bag, right? There's no get the bag for guys right now. It's simply hate women and be a player and try and get a Dodge Challenger SRT8. That's all that they're focused on for the most part. They're not focused on education. So when you, as a woman, as an intelligent, intelligible, well-speaking, kind woman, starts to shine the light on the darkness, the dark skeletons in their closet, it flusters them because you essentially are holding them accountable for what they're supposed to be doing, which is walking in true leadership, true kingship, right? And so they're threatened by that. And since they're not emotionally, logically well balanced, well versed in handling adversity and handling accountability, the only thing they know how to do is what they continue to do by and large in our communities, which is cause destruction, which is to be envious, which is to be hateful. This is why our community is dead last and why we have the highest crime in our communities. This is why our community is dead last and we have the lowest education. We have the lowest amount of businesses because there is no collective unity unless it's for destruction in majority of the communities in America. And the Manosphere is no different. Black communities in America, might I say. So that's why they get so upset at you, Bossy Empress. They get upset because you're doing better for yourself and expecting your men to do better for them, and they're not ready to do that yet. And I'm not sure if they ever will be. We hope that they do. As this message continues to grow, as we have more people supporting, I think I just got another Cash App donation. Thank you so much for the Cash App donation from. Oh no, never mind. That was a Bitcoin alert. I have like not any money in Bitcoin, but I invested in it a little bit, and now they won't stop alerting me. And so as we continue to grow and this message continues to get out, some men will hear it and say, you know what? He's right. I need to start getting my stuff together. A lot of them won't. And some of the men on this platform on the panel right now are getting ready to share their exact antithesis to everything I've said, right? Even though we just got done reading a comment of the day from a guy that says, man, I agree with just about everything you say. However, I can't put my finger on it. Right? That's what his comment said. I agree with everything you say, but I just can't put my finger on it. I just can't get myself to really understand why I agree with everything you say. Let's read this again. I will say I agree with some of your points, maybe not everything, whatever I said. In particular, with the Manosphere and certain content creators, what I take issue with is that, as I said before, I can't put my finger on it. So that lets me know that they know what I'm saying is truth. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. They know that this is the truth. But since, once again, they do not have the emotional maturity needed to accept wrongdoing, to accept failure, to accept the need to grow, they'll never accept it. They'll never admit it. And even when they do try and admit it, there's something inside of them that stops it it acts as a barrier for letting that growth happen. This is why I made the last live stream, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's called The Unsavable Black Male. And I talked about how when you're at the bottom for so long, when you swim in darkness for so long, you lose vision. After years, you lose your vision because you don't have a need for your vision. So even if you are able to find and manage to get to the warmer temperatures, to raise to the higher levels of the ocean, you won't be able to see anything. You've lost the sight. You've lost your vision. Very deep.
I just wanted to say really quick, I love your channel, that you are a black man holding other black men accountable. I think your channel is invaluable. I really do. Our community really needs you. So I just thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bossy Empress. I appreciate that.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you grab it. Just give me 1 second, bro. Many Moon says you never see my cash apps. Many Moon, I'm sorry, I haven't seen a cash app from you today. Let me check one more time. I'm sorry. I try to make sure I call out everybody that donates. Trust me, Many Moon, I have nothing against you. I thoroughly appreciate the donations. Okay, so don't think anything other. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to Kier really quickly. Then we're gonna start to talk to the men. Kier, the floor is yours. After Kier is Charles.
Okay, well, thank you. Hello, Honest Truth. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kier. How are you tonight? And Kier, thank you so much. A huge shout out to you. You have no idea how much it means.
I'm finding you. Oh, well, you're very much welcome. Out of everything I spend money on, this is the one thing that I really do like. So it's nice to actually give money to something I like.
Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I've heard a lot of what these guys say in the Manosphere, and I find it very interesting that they don't speak at all on marriage or relationships, only what women should do for them. There's no forethought on what they're going to give in return for the things that they're asking for. So it's just very telling.
Absolutely. It's so well said. It's kind of just like whatever pops into their mind, they just end up saying that without thinking or taking that step back. And I've said this before, Kier, that's a great point. As a man, when you see something happening, your first thought shouldn't be, your first word shouldn't be what just pops up immediately into your head. No matter what the situation is now, and I just had a situation earlier today where I was about to say something and get into a potential situation. I said, wait a second, Jonathan, take a step back. Let's analyze this and appropriately react to this. All right. Let's not react. Let's be proactive and figure out the best way to respond to this. But reacting isn't going to do anything but start to create something. And at that point, you're going to have to react to what you reacted to. Right? You have to react to their reaction. And so, yes, as a man, you need to slow down. Men need to start taking a step back and really analyzing why they feel like certain problems exist. And once you can analyze why that problem exists, you can start to formulate a solution. But you can't solve a problem so long as you're just throwing bricks at it. You can't solve a problem or fix a car if you never get the right tools. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have of fixing cars. There are some parts of the engine that you need a certain tool for, and you can't complete the job without that part of that tool. So it's great words there. Let's go ahead and go to Pieface, then Gravagus, then Charles. Pieface, the floor is yours.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good, Pieface. How are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, man, I'd like to tell you that you're really doing a good job. And then, like, about the Manospheres and the red pills, I'll be real with you. I used to be in that position. The only reason why I backed out is because I'm an actual critical thinker, and I did a little research. So the Manosphere and the red pill will be like, oh, men does this, men leads, men do this. But the biggest problem is they don't show no action. You gotta let your action do the speaking. They don't demonstrate leaderships. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You're fine, Pieface. You're doing great, man. You're absolutely right. That's a great point there.
And then they be like, oh, women don't lead. But that's a damn lie if you do your research. Rosa Parks, what do you think she did when she was on that bus? And these racist white folks told her to go back on the bus. She was like, no, I'm sitting right here. I ain't going back in the bus. Do you hear her complaining? No. So what did she start? A revolution of busboy Montgomery.
Come on now.
Well,
come on, Pieface.
You know, so you got to be balanced with it. The Manosphere is not balanced because they demonize women for every little thing. I swear, like before I even like subscribed, I even got that red pill race because I really thought all women were evil. Like that shit. Yes. Oops, excuse my language.
You're fine, man.
that thing, like, I really didn't like women because of that. And then I was like, dude, why do you only talk bad things about the woman, but not the good things? Like, they demonize for them for education, careers, money, this, but like, it's like, what's wrong with that?
Looks like he
Oh, they're hypergamy or gold diggers. So, like,
right.
which one is it? Like, do you want them to be successful or just stay in the house and be a hypergamist? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. You gotta start critical thinking. We gotta be balanced with it, because when you're not balanced, then this is why the manosphere will start eating people up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
like, yeah,
And
yeah, like,
Pieface, I want to say, man, listen, you're on target, Pieface. I want to say something before I forget it. You know, it's interesting because at one end they demonize the women for leading, like you said. They would demonize somebody like Rosa Parks. By their own thought processes, Pieface, they would demonize Harriet Tubman for freeing thousands of Negroids from slavery, from being the one in history to go down to be remembered as the one who ended up forming the political connections necessary to start getting black people who were slaves to Canada and to Michigan and to New York. That was done by a black woman, not a black man that's written down in history. But in the same breath, they'll also demonize that woman for leading, for doing what had to be done because there weren't any black men that had the resources or the know-how to do it at the time.
wow, that's crazy.
Incredible.
I never knew that. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Incredible.
Damn.
Listen, Pieface, keep those thoughts. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna move on, but we'll come back to you here in a little bit. Really, first and foremost, huge shout out for the Cash App donation from Sin. I don't want to say your entire name. I'll say Synth with a $25 Cash App donation from Synth. I'll type this in really quickly. I appreciate the Cash App donations. Minnie Moon, if you donated, I'm not sure if your name is Diane. I don't want to say the entire name, but I see the Cash App donation from, I'll just have to say it, Diane. Thank you, Diane, for the Cash App donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. I really love that, Pieface. I see a couple of people in the back of the chat. For those who kind of come on a lot, I'm going to clear some space. So make sure that you come on in a little bit. I see you in the back, guys. But I'm just trying to have a couple of new people on this time. So I'm going to take you down for now. Those who are in the back, make sure you come on. Maybe at the end of the stream, we can try to have you all on because a lot of people are trying to get on right now. So my apologies. But y'all come back, okay? Y'all know I love you. Y'all know I love you. Okay, if you want to join the panel, here's the link to join the panel. Jeez, maybe. Here's the link really quickly there. Okay, Gravigus, and then we'll go to Charles after Gravigus. Gravigus, welcome to the panel. I
Hey
saw you.
man, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, not much, Grav. How's your night going, man?
It's going good. Pretty slow though.
I feel you, man. Well, hey, it's better to be slow than fast and crash course, right?
Oh, for sure. So I've been listening to the stream for a little bit, talking about the Manosphere. You know, I'm not too caught up on that. This is the first time catching one of your streams.
Nice.
But I remember y'all talking about how women are, they're natural nurturers. So like, I'm just trying to get a girl that can just make a sandwich. You know, that's pretty much all it really means for me. You know, tight cooch, good sandwich making skills. That's all it counts for.
Well, hey, if that's your outlook on life, if that's what would make you happy, if that's everything that you aspire to look for in a woman, then hey, that's your own personal preference. I know that you're obviously trolling a bit, but if that's all that you're looking for, then it's gonna respond, or she's gonna respond to how you are as a leader. So it's not a very long list. I assume that you won't have a problem with that, and so best of luck to you. Best of luck to you, Gravigus.
Hey man, I got that on lock. It's already good.
Well, there you go. He sounds like you have no problem. All right, congratulations. All right, that is Gravigus, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, you're gonna have some trolls every once in a while, but what are you gonna do? Charles, the floor is yours, Charles. Make sure to unmute yourself, Charles. Well, I think, Charles, don't disconnect your equipment. It says you need to reconnect your devices now. Charles is struggling, y'all. Okay, he just dropped out. Might be kind of new to this. To the people who are in the background who I removed, y'all can go ahead and come back up. To the people who are in the background who are removed, you join the panel. There's the link once again. 244 people watching. 244 people watching. So good to see y'all all in here. Mr. Supreme, I'll give you 1 second. Charles, I can hear you loud and clear. Charles, the floor is yours.
Yeah, is there like a specific question tonight, or were we just speaking what our thoughts are about as far as
Well,
correcting the black community?
if possible, I'd like to, kind of stick with the topic at hand, which is the manosphere and the dysfunctionality that the manosphere provides. So I'll ask you a couple of questions,
Oh,
particularly.
no.
Hold on 1 second, and make sure that you have YouTube turned off in the background, because I can hear a little bit of reverb. Make sure that you're just in StreamYards. So my question to you is: are you a follower of the manosphere?
Not necessarily a follower, but I can see where they come from as well.
Okay,
I
so
see both sides.
Sure. So let me ask you then: who is the leader of the black community?
Black men should be the leader of the black community.
Okay, so would you agree that black men need to bear the brunt of the responsibility as the natural leaders?
As well as the women, yes. It's
That's not what I
100%.
that's not what I asked.
I know.
That's
I answered
not
it
what I
though.
asked. I said, do you agree that they should bear the brunt of the responsibility, meaning majority of the responsibility? This isn't you can't have two majorities. Listen, you're talking too much already for me, so I'll give you another chance. I'm feeling kind today. You can't have majority and majority. It's majority and minority. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one more time. Do the black men who are the leaders of the community deserve most of the bearance of accountability?
Accountability as far as what exactly?
Accountability.
Lack of families.
Accountability as far as bearing the brunt of the responsibility for the outcome of the community as a whole.
As the outcome of the community as a
Okay, I can see that you already have a hard time comprehending English. It seems like you're a little slower. No offense to you. So we're gonna have to go ahead and move on. Mr. Supreme, the floor is yours, Mr. Supreme.
Hey, how you doing? Do you hear me?
Very well, sir. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Now, I just wanted to talk to you about the pyramid schemes and all that, because you're giving out false information about that. So
okay, sure.
I'm going to explain to you what a pyramid scheme is and what affiliate marketing is.
Well, I'm not talking about affiliate marketing. I know what affiliate marketing is.
Affiliate marketing is MLM.
Affiliate marketing is not MLM.
Yes,
MLM,
it is.
no, it's not. MLM is multi-level marketing. Affiliate marketing is when you have a website.
No,
it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And I'm not going to talk about this right now, Mr. Supreme. I'm not here to talk about MLM and affiliate marketing. It's not the same thing. If it was the same thing, then there wouldn't be two different words describing two different subjects or two different ideas. That's like saying a Porsche and a BMW are the same thing. Not necessarily. They're both vehicles, but they're not the same thing. Okay? But thanks for bringing that up. Irrelevant to the topic at hand. $10 super chat from Terrell Savage. Forgive me, man, for butchering your name. If black men put leadership first instead of WAP, we'd be starting the real revolution. P.S. Organic Black, back off me so I can focus on. I'm not. Oh, I know you're joking with her. Listen, Organic Black is a OG of the channel, and she has moderating privileges. So, Terrell, come correct, because she can permanently ban you. All right, she has that privilege, and she decides to do so. Then she decides to do so. I know you support us a bit, but I'm not going to allow any disrespect for anybody, particularly Organic Black and some of our members of the channel, to throw shade. Seems like she's in good favor and laughing with you, so it's all good with me. It's all cool. Awesome. Let's go ahead and move on. Network, I don't know if I'm quite prepared to talk to you right now. Network, I'll think about it. Alexander Brandon, the floor is yours. And then we're going to actually, I'm sorry, Alexander, before we do, we got to go to Jedi Mike. So, Alexander, give me 1 second. Jedi Mike, the floor is yours, Jedi Mike. Welcome back to the panel, my friend.
How you guys doing?
Hey, good, Jedi. Good.
Hello, Jedi.
Doing. No, I just been sitting back here, but John, you're missing the whole point. It's the evidence, man. The evidence is the reason why most of these women are single. That's the reason why.
That's it. I'm
lace fronts and weave are the perpetrators of this case.
That's it. That's it right there. The brothers wouldn't be in jail.
Is going to show today.
the brothers wouldn't be in jail if it wasn't for myriad of factors, but at the very top, obviously the lace fronts. The guys wouldn't have a less education if it wasn't for lace front. The guys, I don't know, I'm not sure. That's what's afflicting them though. It's nothing else but the lace fronts.
But on a serious note, though, but yeah, I'm like I said, this dude is coming in here looking like the damn like Rugrats doll. Like I'm just like, dude, come correct. Try to represent yourself anyway. But I want to go to the whole concept in terms of the whole red pill and everything, because you're talking about the whole thing with the Matrix. They all keep referring to this movie. Well, if you actually watch the movie, you knew after he took the red pill, he had to go into a different room in the process of actually switching him from the false reality into the real world. But you know what happened? What he had to do? He looked in the mirror. He had to touch the mirror.
Sure did. And he went into the mirror.
He's looking into his reflection of himself that to consume him. And then he went into the Matrix, i.e., or the real world, i.e., the truth or whatever it is. Then the red pill concept been consumed. So problem is you can't be truly red pill if the purpose of actually seeking truth and getting out of a false reality while looking at yourself, i.e., being accountable, self-reflection. So this whole concept of this is all BS. Because they haven't even the source that they're taking from, they're not even taking the full truth. That's what's called a illusion.
Man, Mike, that is deep, bro. I forgot about that part.
Think about
he
that.
Sure did.
He looked in the mirror.
He brought up Morpheus. Man, Mike, that is powerful. That is powerful. And this is why we always say this, Mike. They'll use a biblical scripture and then not even understand the true nature of that scripture. Now, I'm guilty of this myself. I didn't even think about the true nature of what happened in the movie. For those of you who do not know, when Morpheus came up to the protagonist, the hero of the entire series, and invited him to wake up to the reality of the situations of the world around him, the first thing that he did in order for him to start his first phase in waking up was he pulled a mirror, an actual body length mirror, up to him, and Neo touched the mirror. He looked at himself, and then the mirror started to wave a bit. And once he was able to look at his image, his entire image of who he used to be covered himself from head to toe, and then it snapped him out of the matrix. He eventually went to the real world. But it wasn't until, like Jedi Mike said, God almighty, that's powerful, bro, that he was able to accept what was in the mirror, that the change happened, because popping the red pill by itself wouldn't have got him reborn.
No.
Lord have mercy.
That's the fraction of the truth. That's the only fraction of the truth.
That is deep, bro. Damn, that's deep, bro. Listen, Jedi. You got me hyped, man.
Nah, man. I'm talking with Takier. I'm on fire, man. I need some water. Shit.
I got some Aquafina right here, bro. I'm a Amazon next day air it to you, bro. A whole case, truckload.
These folks want the smoke. I got it for them. Come on.
This mom said this is why he's a Jedi. Absolutely. Jedis were known for their wisdom as well as their fierceness in combat.
But listen, this is the whole thing we're talking about, is that, and also I'm going to go to other concept, talk about the MLM is an absolute scam. You know who people they're targeting? People my age in their early 20s. Since the pandemic, if you do your research, companies like Forex trading, everything like that, have been consistently rising because they begin pyramid schemes. And what they targeted is when they go into your DMs and they get somebody who you graduate with, who pay no attention to you in high school, and say, "Hey, man, I see, I just checked my feed, just want to reconnect. How you doing? And by the way, I got a important business opportunity I want to share to you. You want to learn? Okay, I'm gonna connect to a Zoom. I'm gonna show you this and everything." Then they show you everything, and it's like, okay, here's your processing fee before we can actually give you the true information. And then they go into the next thing. This is what it's targeting. Is the MLM scheme is a scheme, and it target young 20-year-olds about this, and that's why folks going broke. You're gonna see it on YouTube. You're gonna see on anything in research, and these actually filing lawsuits on companies about this, because eventually, what happened was the creators of these companies doing those was it the Forex, the MLM schemes, anything like that? Amway. If you go do research about that stuff, it's the same thing. They use manipulation tactics to sell false hope, saying, and they go into and they try to connect with you and try you to share your personal story, share like what happened, like maybe in your family. Oh, I've been broke. My mom, grandmother just died, passed away, and anything. And what ends up happening is they weaponize your vulnerability. Because eventually what's going to happen is that once you are going into the scheme and actually get into it, they're going to ask you to recruit other people, and then that's the only way for you to get paid. That's the only way for you to get paid. So
Just
what
to
happens
continue
when
the destructiveness, the
Right.
destruction. Wow.
Right, it's a domino effect. I'm saying talking about this, and even then, I'll take one thing away from just even the pyramid scheme of the forex and everything like that. I even say for myself in terms of religious, like I'm in college. I just basically just detached from a campus ministry. I've been in the last 2 years. I'm not going to say the name of it, but what it is though is like, even though there might be some good people in there, it's really is a pyramid scheme because their leader, there's like no one have any certification, no one pastors, anything, or actually are equipped to be doing this, and basically they sell this reality about you being God and everything, and saying that, listen, if you join leadership, then then you can be part in doing the God's work. But then what happened is that you're then getting other people to join beneath you, and it's a social hierarchy, i.e., and because this is in school, what happens is a popularity contest. Well, if you're popular, then you become a leader. If you're nobody will know who you are. And what happened is,
Mike, that got me hyped, bro.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not
me
done.
hyped, bro.
I'm not done. I'm not done. So what happened is when it happened, what they do is the same thing they do when you find out for what it is, the controlling spirit. Because I was saying, I identify as Christian, and one thing is the discerning of spirits as well, which I think we lack in the church. Because even then, there's people in the church that use the word of God, obviously whether it's in Leviticus, and the Old Testament, and try to use these things to control you to get their narrative, i.e., their offerings, the multiple offerings. I need to have this church fund or anything like that, and that's instead of doing the Lord's work. Because once you, in the IE are you following the word, when you reach the promised land, there is no titles in front of God. There is no pastors, there is no apostles in front of God. You are both infants. You're both childs of God amongst him. So what happened is a spirit of pride. That's what happened is, and going into this scamming thing, when you fail, when they basically use everything they can use from you, i.e. your money, they taking you out to these retreats, taking you out to all these things. They're saying, if you come to this event, we will give you the knowledge. You got to be there. You gotta be there. I mean, God's gonna be there, or you can go. We have guest speakers, anything like that, and they get your money and all stuff. And then you see a continuing thread when people who've been in an experience before you are telling me, "Hey, man, I don't think this is for you." Because I had friends of mine, friends I grew up who know me more than I know myself. It's like, and we have a relationship rocky. I talk about my brothers, like the men I associate with. When I got into this ministry, what happened was. He knew this, like, hey, dude, I don't think this is for you, man. Like, that's very controlling and fake. It's superficial. It's like, and we got an argument because I was in the sunken place. I was in terms of the mindset thinking, oh man, the person who was actually trying to help me, I viewed him as an enemy.
The same thing that we do on this channel. They view us as enemies, and we're the ones trying to help them.
And before it's too late, they suck you high and dry to a point they say, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault that you didn't try hard enough. It's your fault that you didn't meet your quota this month and got 10 people under you. It's your fault the fact that you're spiritually immature, even though you're not no pastor, even though you're not my God. And yet because I have basically put so much identity into you because you give me this false hope that I'm thinking that I am now into this manipulation tactic just for use as a pawn in your scheme for you to increase in your social hierarchy of power.
Lord have
like
mercy,
I said in scripture, pride comes amidst the fall. It's going to fall. Eventually, all of it's going to be crashing down. Like we said, the weak foundation built in sand. That's all it is. They ain't no base in terms of integrity about this, and it's getting exposed every single day. So I encourage you to demand certainly in the Manosphere or anything like that. When you're watching these things, they're saying they're going to be turning on to you before it's too late. They'll suck you high and dry before they have nothing else to do with you because you have been sucked dry from all of your confidence, your actually potential. Because a lot of these men are saying are not broke. They come from a place of hurt, but they're saying that if you actually are bonding with actual positive mindset and ideas and morals and values and actually having ambition to be better, then you can morph that person. But if it's all just toxic thing, it's like in the Bible talks about you have to pruning the toxic or dead weeds so way that you can establish and plant something that bears true fruit. But this ain't all this stuff coming is not edifying at all. And that's why you've seen people in the church going through a lot of things, mental illness, or actually committing, like going through some like suicide stuff or anything, and people resenting them. And then what happens with the church in the image? They say, "Oh yeah, they weren't fit for the ministry." No, I pray for them. I just pray for them and everything. But no, the enemy's on them and stuff like that. They have a very
Of course.
they have a very Jezebelian spirit. They always like to throw that around. But
yeah,
yeah,
it never reflects on the pastor, right? Because the pastor's not the one leading the flock.
Right.
It's just the flock's just leading themselves, apparently.
Right.
Psh,
But
listen,
like I said, the true leaders are the ones who are the greatest servants to his people, i.e., in terms of the man being the leader. That talk about me and Truth and other folks who talk about true leadership is being a servant to your people, servant to, i.e., the wife that you are covering, i.e., the children you are covering, and having that unit of the black family so way that you guys will be unstoppable. That is what is true leadership is.
man. Jedi, I don't need to say anything else about that. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. You do
Yes,
whatever
take
you need
a
to
rest. Dang.
do. Man, that's wisdom. There's a difference between intellect and wisdom. A lot of the times I can have some good intellect, but when I hear wisdom though, that's like, okay, that's what I like right there. Wisdom hits differently. And Jedi has wisdom at such a young age. Very interesting. You don't hear wisdom by and large with people in the world. It's a rarity. $5 super chat from Terrell Savage says Jewish Mike came through with the lightsaber. I'm not sure if you meant to spell Jedi. Destiny Maxi with the $10 super chat says I'm 25 and I see the Manosphere men in real life and they scare me. One time I went out with one not knowing and he was threatening to beat me because I wanted to pay for my own things. I'm sorry to hear that, Destiny. Hopefully he's not afflicting you. Hopefully you're far away from him. Make sure that you get some good guys in your life if you can. There was another $10 super chat. I'm trying to find it. Oh, $10 super chat from Goddess of the TSC says my boyfriend walked past the garbage bag on my porch and didn't want to take it out because it stinks. His phone was in his hand and he was listening to Kevin Samuels tell a woman how she's not high value. True story. Wow. This is why we do what we do. A lot of the time people say that, well, I don't see the Manosphere as threatening. I don't see that this is happening in real life, and I don't see this happening offline and things of that nature. It's only a matter of time until eventually it comes to your front doorsteps. But by that time, just like the people who've been pushing and pushing and pushing to get to the pot of gold on the edge of the cliff, even if the pot of gold is right there, because there's so many people pushing behind you, you're going to fall off the cliff. You might get a couple of pieces of gold as you fall to your demise. Goddess of the TSC, I hate to hear that story. I would strongly advise for you to leave him. I know you put boyfriend in quotations, but that's one of those situations where with friends like this, who needs enemies? That's where that applies there. Yes, Jedi Mike was absolutely fire for the past couple minutes, telling the absolute truth. We're going to kind of move on in the panel right there. We could really end the entire stream right there. We'll move on to the panel. Network, I'm considering giving you a chance. I'm considering it, but I'm gonna let Boss Empress TV say something really quickly, and then Network, I'll let you come by. I can't remember who you are actually, Network. I don't know if you're with us or against us, so forgive me. Boss Empress TV, the floor is yours, really quickly.
It's just nice to see Black men here holding each other accountable. I'm really just enjoying your stream tonight. The wisdom. I'm learning a lot. So I don't really have much to say to add to the conversation. Maybe next time I'll have some questions.
Not a problem. You relax, chillax, and enjoy the vibes. Network 44, the floor is yours, Network 44.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, Network. We hear you loud and
All right.
clear.
So, I've heard you say a whole lot of stuff about the manosphere. I personally wouldn't say I'm a red pill person, but, why are you treating everything they say as gospel, right? You can basically follow something and pick a few parts without having to subscribe to everything, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a situation where you take 100% of everything the manosphere talks about.
Well, let me kind of break this down. I'll use your same methodology of thinking really quickly, and I'll kind of see if we can't come to an agreement of some sort. Because what you say, a lot of people do say, and so I do want to address it. Before I do, though, I'm pulling a Jessica X move right here, right? Just reading infinite amounts of super chats. Well, hold on, before 1 second before we do this, I need to read the super chats. IK with a $10 super chat says the pyramid scheme is the perfect analogy. THT drops bars. Thank you, IK, for all of your contributions. Thank you. So Network, the problem with this is that when you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. Now, you don't have to lay down with dogs and literally live inside of a dog pen to catch fleas. You could just end up petting a dog or spending a little bit of time around a dog, and that's enough time for that flea to jump and make its way onto you and to afflict you. Once again, you don't have to spend hours upon hours upon hours or be completely enveloped in the dog's presence for days upon days upon days. But judging of the dog and just how afflicted by fleas, or judging by how many fleas it has on its body, that'll determine whether or not and how quickly you end up being chastised by the same fleas. So why am I bringing up fleas? It might seem like it's irrelevant. Well, I believe that the manosphere, by and large, is nothing other than a mosh pit for fleas to party and reverberate hatred amongst themselves. All right. The manosphere, by and large, offers nothing of solutions that will help you in your life to become a better person. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is the complete word of God, but I like to think that everything I do say, if it's put into practical motion in one's life, can definitely lead to some benefits, more benefits than the manosphere could offer you. That's just what I believe. Now, you can have your own personal thoughts on that. You can think whatever you'd like to think. But from what I've observed on the manosphere, it's become nothing other than a way to popularize hating women, particularly black women in the black manosphere. That's what I see from it. Very rarely do I find manosphere content creators that are talking about anything else other than women, that are talking about cryptocurrency, that are talking about this, that are talking about actual ways which they claim that the manosphere has built their brand on, i.e. making men better. They don't talk about making men better. And guess what? We've seen when Kevin Samuels did talk about making men better, his channel never grew or took off. So I understand what you're saying, but at this point, if you are taking a part of the manosphere's conversations and try to apply some little minute points of conversation that they have, I still see that as a negative, because the majority of the conversation they have is destructive. Does that make sense?
See, let me tell you this. A lot of black people grow up in a single parent household. So automatically.
All right. I don't know if I really want to hear this right now, Network 44. Come back next time, Network 44. I'll consider it. I did consider it, in all fairness. I'll let you speak, So I know the statistics and, growing up in wherever.
Jonathan, can I say something
Sure.
real fast? Because it's just like they asking us to look for needles in the haystack. They asking us to look for the tiny, minute, good part that might make all of this worth it. But overall, the large majority is just a hate group. These men hate women. The black manosphere hates black women. It's not here to help. It's not even here to help men, because it radicalizes and like indoctrinates, especially young men, into thinking that their lives are over before they've even begun, and that they're destined for failure with women. It makes them fear all these things that might happen 30 years from now. I don't know what we're supposed to be looking for the good here. It's like asking me to find the good in the KKK. Surely there must be something good in there.
So good. That is classic. No, Chanel, it's not too late for you to join the panel. Everybody who likes to join can definitely join. It's so fascinating to me, Loren. That's a good point, because everything that we just got done saying, as brilliant, as revolutionary, as progressive as it is for the black community, it's like he didn't hear anything for the past 2 hours. It's like after everything we just got done talking about, he's like, well, I still remember that, in 1943, there was a turtle that my great grandfather had, and it was a nice turtle, and you're just like, wait a second. Is that all that you got from everything that we said? Is that what you're gonna die and place your sword upon the hill on? Is something as remedial, and I hate to even say that word because it's not the right word to use politically, so forgive me, everyone. It's something so insignificant in your point. Now, obviously, what he was saying is an insignificant point, but when we're talking about the level of wisdom, and we're talking about as interesting and as I don't want to say intelligent either. I have to be really careful. When we're having a different level of discussion and still they're not able to join that level, and they still reside on the bottom of the ocean that we got done talking about earlier, it lets me know that they don't have the capability to thrive in the mental gymnastics that we're thriving in on this channel. They don't have the mental aptitude to be able to actually formulate something that's as wise and coherent as what Jedi Mike said. They don't have the mental capacity needed to go to the lengths that I'm able to go. They're stuck on stupid, for lack of a better term. They don't have the ability to even hear everything that we said and rationalize it. And the last thing I'll say before I pass it off is that you can't teach ignorance, because ignorance by definition is ignorant. The true nature of it is unteachability. I know I'm making up words, but every word was made up at some point, so bear with me. The very definition of ignorance is to reject anything that has enlightenment in it. That is what ignorance is. And so when we hear these guys talk about, well, the white man, when we hear them after we get done having such a philosophical, such a deep minded brainstorming type of, dialogue that we had here, it's like, wow, out of everything we said, that's where you are still. There's no hope for a lot of them. Straight up no hope. I know we waited a long time. Alexander Brennan and Siamese Cat. I'm going to let y'all go. Alexander, the floor is yours, and then Siamese Cat afterwards. Thank y'all for waiting. Also, I know I took y'all down, but there was a lot of people trying to get on, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all are always patient with me, so thank you. Alexander, the floor is yours.
First of all, I like to acknowledge Jedi Mike for giving us that lesson today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I felt the Jedi force coming from him on the screen of my phone, and I don't even know how that happens sometimes. But yeah, the Manosphere is going to lead. It's going to lead people to be lonely, because sooner or later the women are going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
And you think that black women, is dating interracially now, and there are, how we say, not choosing white men who act like the Dusties we're talking about. Pretty soon, what Cam 123 says is actually going to come true, because sooner or later, white women are going to start dating Latin men more, because I'm starting to see that happen. And yeah, it's going to be scary for us, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be real scary.
I think you brought up a good point in the beginning of your statement, Alexander, and thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. And that's that. What Jedi's saying is definitely illuminating a lot and taking things into conversations to a further extent. And so I think it's interesting what you said about the interracial dating. I'll keep my eye on that. I've seen Kem's channel. I'll keep my eye on that and kind of see where you're trying to go with that. I can't say I fully agree with it, but I'll definitely keep my eye on it, Alexander. So I appreciate you. MS, I see that you just joined the chat, so we'll have you speak in 1 second. Siamese Cat, the floor is yours, Siamese Cat. And once again, thank you for your patience.
You're welcome. I will say the same for you, Jedi, and all of you. You guys were on fire tonight. Absolutely on fire.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A lot of truths about our women of all races dating interracially, looking for the good men or women if they're LGBT, if they're gay, they're bi, they're pan, or whatever orientation they are. And God forbid, according to the Manosphere, they be anything other than strictly heterosexual.
Right.
Or only one person. God forbid. More, and God forbid I'm not just only want one person or want more than one person. So I'm including all possible styles somebody can do here, because they don't want anyone that's different.
It's very, very true, Siamese. Very true, Siamese. I'm gonna go on to MS Siamese, and thank you for your patience once again. Siamese looks at things from a very unique perspective. I'll say that. So I always like hearing what she has to say. MS, the floor is yours, MS.
Hi, I just want to say that y'all's talking points earlier were so inspiring to me, and it kind of gave me a little bit of hope. Um, a lot of people don't think about the repercussions these men have on their children, and I came from the environment of someone like that, and it is very, very damaging on your psyche. I'm around Jedi Mike's age. I'm a little bit younger than him, and it just gave me a little glimmer of hope that there are a few people that still have a little bit of empathy towards others and still want to continue to do better. It kind of moved me a little bit. I usually don't get emotional like that, but it very much so moved me, and I really appreciate what you do on this channel, and you give so many people like me a voice, and it's just very nice to see that. That's really all I have to say.
Absolutely, MS. That means the world, and I'll let Jedi respond to you as well if you'd like to.
Thank you. How old are you? You don't mind me asking?
Sorry, I'm 21.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right around there. But listen, like that was going to like the targeted audience to this, like I said, the scheme was our age, because a lot of people our age, like even myself, I tell you this, like even now, we're trying to figure out who we are, because we're not children anymore, but yet we're in position to be becoming grown. So we're looking for something, seeking purpose, seeking, a validation, trying to seek what we're questioning what we're going to be in the next 20 years, when in reality it's just like I don't even know what I'm going to be in 20 years. We don't even know what you can have for breakfast tomorrow. That's it. I mean, that's just simple.
Right.
But the point is, I'm just like, I realize I have to calm my nerves down, because that's a flaw about me, is that I overthink about the future. I overthink about things. I'm hard on myself, and my parents don't put this on me. They're saying like, Michael, like you're acting like you have a wife and 2 kids right now you're trying to provide for. You are 22 years old, and calm down and start living your life. And you're right, I do. And like I'm still working on it, because I know that even then I feel like I have a level of responsibility that I have expectation I want to meet. Now, even though I probably take a long road to get there, I just have to say, like, I just can't be hard on myself all the time. But what I'm saying is the people now our age, we're trying to seek purpose. But what is that? The other folks, they know that, so they try to manipulate us and take what we've been looking for, i.e. identity, and they try to tell us who we are. We're trying to look to other people, try to tell us who we are. And the thing about it is, if you do that, if you look to tell the world, to try to ask the world, hey, can you tell me who I am? They're going to tell you, but I can assure you it won't be for your benefit. It never is.
Exactly. I feel like these men just poison the minds of young women like me and young men like you. It's absolutely insane just navigating the world as is. There's so much going on, around this age, like you said. But then it's a whole nother level of like, especially being a Black woman, a young Black educated woman, I feel like I'm just seen as a demon basically. And, it's caused problems between me and my own father. He just, growing up, it was always, you have to look a certain way. Nobody really cares what you have to say and stuff like that. And I finally feel like I'm finding a voice and I have a platform to speak out, and it's very empowering, basically.
Well, that's huge, MS. I appreciate that so much, and I'm happy for that. And as this channel continues to grow, as we continue to grow, as Jedi Mike's channel continues to grow, and all the other men who might end up, starting to become a part of our active content crusade, metaphorically, Susan, at YouTube, against the Manosphere and against the powers that seek to strip us of the very best of us, that try to demonize the very best of us and destroy the very best of us. You'll be able to say whatever you like to say for as long as you like to say it, so long as we're still here, and we plan on going nowhere. I'll tell you that. We're not going anywhere. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the $25 Cash App donation from Anonymous. She says, I'd like to stay anonymous. And so I didn't dox it this time. I did dox one anonymous person. I didn't read the message, and I almost did it this time. So thank you. I'm getting better with it, but thank you for the $25 donation, Anonymous. Means the world. Means the absolute world. It's always nice and refreshing when we can have a stream like this, where I feel like there is breakthrough that can happen when on the replay, people are going to watch this and be moved where they are, no matter where they are. I love having these types of streams. And I didn't even think this was going to be one of those types of streams, if I'm being honest with you. I was really nervous before this one because I felt like it had the potential to do that. I felt like it had the potential to really hit hard and deliver, but I just didn't know if I could get it to the level it needed to get to. And having y'all on the platform, having Jedi Mike on the platform, having Kier on the platform, having everybody who's been a channel member, who's given monetarily, who's donated, all of that really helps the dynamics to pushing the show to the next level. Because when we're speaking and when we're having our conversations here, I really feel and I listen to what y'all are saying, and y'all's positive responses. It just takes everything up a notch. And this is one of those streams where it was extremely dynamic, and I'm so happy that it did what it did. Sharice says, "F, I missed everything." Don't worry, Sharice. The live chat's going to be on the replay, and you're going to be able to watch it and participate as if it was live, from the comfort of your own phone at your convenience, right? The best way, like I said before, to kind of watch these live streams is to have YouTube Premium. I'm not sure if there are ads on the streams. Can one of y'all tell me if there's ads when you watch this channel? I don't know if there is, but it was marked that my content was too. There's not? Okay, cool. It was marked that my content was too controversial, but
I've
it
got
says
YouTube Red.
well, you won't see any ads then. So Terrell says no ads, no ads, no ads. Okay, cool. Cool, awesome, no ads. Well, that's good. If you still want to get a better YouTube experience, though, I'd say go ahead and get YouTube Red or Premium. It's really awesome. Nope, no ads. Cool. I wanted to say something and I forgot. I wanted to say something. I can't remember. I can't remember at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the panel one more time. Usually I don't do this, but I want to give anybody a chance that was just now joining the chance to speak, or maybe if you just want to say something you didn't get to say last time. In the meantime, we're going to give our final words. For the final words, if we can just keep them for 30 seconds or less. Obviously, if you have to go longer, then feel free. I'm not trying to rush you, especially not anybody on our panel and in our community. Keep them somewhat short, and then we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to go ahead and take a couple of days off, and we'll be back with another very dynamic, hopefully just as dynamic as this stream was, stream for the next time. Also, if you enjoyed the thematic, cinematic, movie type intro, outro, I'll be playing it on the outro as well. And once again, thanks for all the donations, y'all. I'm able to spend money on improving certain aspects of the channel. I can't wait until a couple of days, where I get my first significant YouTube AdSense check. I'll be able to upgrade the microphones and do a few more things. So I'm really happy about that. We did have T-Sav join. And so T-Sav, I'm going to go ahead and let you give your thoughts really quickly. It's going to have to be quickly. And we're going to do the final closing thoughts for everyone else. Go ahead, T-Sav.
Congrats on the stream, man. This was another home run.
Thank you.
I'm Team Jedi now. I'm going to change my name to Jedi T. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to all the men and women on the panel. That came on the panel and in the chat. I fuck with everybody. I just be playing around a lot, but just to keep things light. But yeah, man, keep it going, y'all.
Appreciate your support, brother. Y'all be safe, man.
Much love, man. Much love, bro.
T-Sav, ladies and gentlemen. He was on last stream. It's a good brother right there. Gave us a little bit of a hard time, but I think he means well. So, Siamese Cat, your final words.
I was ready to share something last stream about the solution, the normalizing of healthy love between all the races.
We'll save that. We'll save that for next stream. Because I want to talk a little bit about that next stream.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save that for next stream for sure. But listen, Siamese, I always love having you here, and I love having you in the Discord. So I want to thank you for being an active member of our Discord community. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You're one of the most active, and so it kind of keeps the party moving. I appreciate you, Siamese. I'm gonna take you down, but I'll talk to you here in a little bit when we go offline. All right.
Okay.
All right, Siamese. Siamese Cat, ladies and gentlemen. Siamese is quirky. Alexander Brennan, your final words.
Yeah, first off, Jedi Mike, you did great, bro. And I never thought I'll see the day that Honest Truth got out of his chair doing a live stream like this. And also to the two pretty black women, keep an open mind, because one day a good man, whether he could be any color, he's out there for you. And don't give up hope just yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alexander Brandon, those are great words, man. We're going to see you next time, Captain. Alexander Brandon, great final words there. C2EA Cali, I'll be putting the Discord link up in 1 second. Let me just find it. Give me a couple of seconds, okay? Bossy Empress TV, your final words. The floor is yours.
Well, it was just an honor to speak to you, these men tonight, and then to hear from the young people. That was very refreshing to just see 10 years back, because I'm 31, and the Jedi and the other young lady said they're in their 20s, so 21, 22. So it's just amazing to see how the Manosphere is just touching each generation. And, I'm new to the conversation. I consider myself divested. I'm not sure what type of channel this is. But I'm just navigating all of these topics, and love doesn't really have a color. So that's what I talk about on my channel a lot. And it was very motivational to come here and just listen to your live tonight. I'll be binge watching, and I will definitely be a supporter. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Not a problem. Not a problem. And here we're for the betterment of Black women. I don't care what race they are. I don't care who they are. I just want our women to be in the best position possible, and I support that to the very end, whatever it might be. The Discord link is in the chat right now. If you'd like to join the Discord, that's the link. Click that. We'll be continuing the discussion offline. We don't really say too much, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome. And so, Learning IT is with you. She's divested as well. Like I said, and for our ladies, it does not matter to me. I just want our women to be in a better position. Yeah, I really do want that. Pieface, your final words, sir. Your final words.
Yeah. So then, like, it's like a really interesting, great topic, to be honest. Like, I can't believe I'm actually on here. Yeah, and then I would love to be on this panel the next time. But I do have a question about Jedi Mike. Does he has a YouTube channel I can subscribe to? Because I like to learn more.
Yes, I do. You can subscribe to Jedi Mike 7 together. No, there's no space between Jedi Mike and 7. It's together. I do movie reviews, news, and truth. I do a bunch of things on the channel, like talking about movies or other topics I like to explore. But the main purpose is also as a betterment and instilling morals, values, and making young men, specifically young Black men, become the best version of themselves in an edifying way. But I'll leave that stuff to the end. But yeah.
I'll go ahead and drop his link right now in the chat, and so we can make sure to follow Jedi Mike. That's the link to subscribe to Jedi Mike for you, for Pieface and everybody else.
Yep. All right. Thanks, man. See you guys.
All right. We'll see you soon, Captain. Be safe, man.
See you, man. Nice meeting you, bro.
Definitely. Kier, your final words, Kier. Take as much time as you need.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I just wanted to say to Jedi Mike, and actually to those who are 20, right now you will feel like, very hectic and very serious and like you're taking yourself too seriously. Eventually, you will finally learn to let go of being so serious, and you will be able to see happiness in the littlest of places, I promise you. And life will start to get so much more fun, because it happened for me, and I know it's definitely going to happen for the rest of you, because I was exactly where you guys were in my 20s, always feeling I was too serious, hectic, people telling me I was too serious, and I didn't think I was, and I finally let go, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So you guys are eventually going to do that as well, so you'll be perfectly fine.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Kier.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I received that fully. I really do. Thank you. I need that.
And this is also for those of you that aren't in your 20s who are still a little too serious as well. When you finally let go, you will be so much more happier. Trust me, you will find happiness in the smallest of places, and you won't be able to help yourself being so giddy. Trust me.
I love that, Kier. Huge shout out to you, Kier, for everything that you've done and everything that you continue to do. No pressure, no obligation for you to do anything else. You've done so much for the channel, and so I just want to give you a huge shout out for always supporting. You're one of the OGs that's been here for a while, and so I'll remember you and a few others specifically when hopefully in the future we're at a much larger size. So I just want to say that. Thank you, Kier.
You are very welcome. I love supporting our community, our lovely Black community, and I can't wait to start supporting Jedi Mike and Lorraine and everyone else.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We are all gonna ride and we're gonna thrive together. I'm gonna make sure of it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome, Kiera. The lovely Kiera, ladies and gentlemen. She has left the building, but she will be back hopefully soon to grace us with her presence again. Thank you, Kiera. Have a good night. Go ahead, Kiera. I know you said good night.
Oh, I was gonna say you guys as well. Have a good night.
I hate doing that. Thank you,
God
Kiera.
bless you.
All right. Thank you.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. Jedi Mike, last but certainly not least at all. Everybody that's been on the panel has been wonderful. I always love seeing y'all, but Jedi Mike, I appreciate everything that you've done tonight and everything that you're doing on your channel as well.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. Dude, it took all my energy. I'm drained. But it's a good drain. I feel like satisfied, whatever. But yeah, I just want to say like thank y'all to the chat, everything, your feedback and everything. Like I continuously say this is that I stand before you as an imperfect man. This is trying to become the best version of myself. By doing that, holding myself accountable, but knowing what I'm capable of to improve every aspect of myself, my mindset, my spirit, and everything in my actions as well. I'm gonna be having a live stream tomorrow where the truth part of my channel that I talk about having betterment of like young boys and everything like that, where I have live streams. Even though the first one I did, I think went very well, and thank you guys for the support for that. But this one coming tomorrow is going to be the format moving forward. Kind of have a series because we always complain that we don't have solutions to bettering young Black men, but now we'll provide them. So the topic I have tomorrow will be called the identity of leadership. What is leadership? How you define it? What does it mean being an edifying leader? What does also mean being a corrupt leader? And the fact of the lack of leadership in our community and everything. And I'll be using books such as like reference. I talked about John C. Maxwell, 360 Leader. I have that and other things as well. Also, leaders are readers. Don't forget that. But I just want to say thank you to everyone, support and everything like that. Like I said, we're steadily growing. I appreciate your support, the truth and everything. But I hope you guys have a blessed night and everything. And to Queen Mercy, I will be getting that orange juice and I will be going to sleep because I am exhausted. I need to re-energize. But thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Jedi Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jedi Mike. Make sure you subscribe once again to that channel link that you just saw pop up in the chat box. If you're watching this on replay, make sure you subscribe to Jedi Mike 7 on YouTube. Jedi, we'll see you soon, boss man. All right, my friend. That is the Jedi Mike, ladies and gentlemen. Heck of a stream tonight. Really made a lot of good ground. It's good to see the comment of the day that we saw where there's guys who still aren't able to shake that dustiness off of them just yet, but they're hearing the message. They might not be coming to the live stream, to the chat panel to speak because it can be a bit intimidating. I understand that. It can be a bit intimidating. But for the men who do have courage to speak, and regardless of what side of the fence you fall on, I appreciate you for coming on. And I just continue to advise you to listen if you don't agree with what we say here. At the end of the day, we do care about the well-being of the community, as hard as it might be for you to hear and understand that, as hard as it might be for you to truly believe that. We do care for yourself at some point or another, in some way or another, as well as the families that you are trying to support, as well as the family that you have in the same community that we're trying to progress. We do care. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an honor, a great live stream. We're going to be back in a couple of days, 2 days. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for all the channel contributors. Thank you for all the channel members. I know I said the video vlogs are coming out. They'll come out sooner or later. Those vlogs are a lot of work, and when I plan these live streams, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of writing, a lot of time, a lot of research. And so I appreciate everybody that sticks with each stream from beginning to end for all 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Once again, the comments are so welcome, so much needed. Lets me know that y'all are really enjoying it, and that's what matters to me. We blocked one of Kevin's little minions trying to come on. DeMarcus, you have to create another account. I think that's probably DeMarcus's second account that he's created. So DeMarcus, go ahead and start another Gmail account. Eventually, Google's going to ban you from creating emails, and we will rejoice on that day. Kirsten, this stream was life. I'd love to hear that. Destiny Maxi said, nice stream. Absolutely. We'll see you soon, Mikhail. Rainbow Glitches with the Panda Bear supported emojis. Once again, we're going to have the outro playing in a few minutes. Y'all enjoy your lives. Enjoy your week, your weekend. We're almost at the weekend now. Don't take anything too seriously, like some of the ladies in the chat were saying. Life is good, and keep that negative energy away from you. until we decide to start attacking it and putting it on Front Street again for the rest of the world to see. It's only a matter of time. The snowball has started rolling down the hill, and it is accumulating size and support. After a certain amount of time, it's going to be very hard to stop. And I look forward to that day. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Truth Seekers Live production. Once again, thank you to all of our supporters, channel contributors, donators. If I missed your donation, I apologize, but I want you to know that I thank you as well. We are out, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all take care.